Right, so here's our code for part 1. Overall, this was a pretty simple part to write. The packet was made a little bit longer, as you can see here. And now if we move into the network file, as per the assignment, I just split the packet into 2 packets if it's longer than 80 characters. Otherwise, it'll just send the base packet. And now let's quickly run this one. And look at that. Wham! 2 packets. So on to part 2. Let's close that. So pretty similar. Simulation file is pretty similar to part 1. I made the packet a little bit longer and changed the server MTU to 30. If we move on into network, this is where things get a little bit more. So if I move on up to network packet, added a couple of things up top. The more fraglen, this is just for the single byte that tells receive if there are any more fragments to follow the current fragment. The offset length, that's to tell the receiver where the new fragment goes in the packet. And then, of course, the total length for the new length of the header. Those changes are reflected in the constructor. The 2-byte function is now made to accommodate the new parts of the header, the offset, and the flag. And then from byte, this is yet again built to accommodate the new variables with their offsets calculated there and there and there. If we move on into host now, let's take a look at send. So I've changed it so that now it can send as many packets as is necessary based off of the recipient's MTU, rather than just splitting it into 2 packets regardless of whether or not the split packet will fit. And if we go into receive, this has now been modified to rebuild packets from the fragments using the more frag flag to determine if more fragments are going to be delivered for the packet, and rebuilding it. And then if we move down into router, forward is kind of similar to receive, except of course for sending them to the recipient. And this calculates what the offset should be, whether or not more fragments will follow the current one, builds a packet, and then sends it on to the recipient. And now for a quick run, move back to simulation, run. Look at that. That's a lot of packets. That's a lot of fragments. And there we go. That's part 2.
All right, so here we have part 3. Here's the implementation of the network topology in simulation. Going through and adding all of that in there. If I go ahead and run this, you can see all of the startup. The packets get sent. You can see where they're forwarding. Over here in networks, if you scroll through, you can see the changes I've made to get it to forward properly, making sure that it's getting to the right place, and all of that.